Hello everyone, I hope you're having a great day today. So today we are doing a Amazon tribe build. So it is using the Jungle Adventures world on the bit where the museum, I think it was, is supposed to be, and we are creating our own little tribe that is sort of always been in the jungle, and this is their sort of little village that they have out here. So this is the main sort of hut that they have. This is like a communal area. It's where your Sims can. I did want them to be able to sit around a fire, but we'll soon see how that fares, because apparently you can't have the bonfires and stuff if they're not outside, so I couldn't put that in, but I do recreate my own little thing. So it's supposed to be made out of like thatched roof, have a thatched roof and sort of wooden timber sort of surroundings, so it looks like a traditional type of hut. And there's me trying to get the roof back on, but it wasn't working, so I thought I'd just stick those outside, excuse me. And I put in a little wooden the cooker that looks like a wood burner, so I thought that's where they could come and do some communal cooking. There's also a wash tub, so the tribe can clean their clothes if they're out in the jungle going hunting or whatever they're up to. I think it's like their go. Like I had some fishing sort of details in, so I thought there'd be a kind of hunter-gatherer type of tribe. Then adding in a communal stone seating area around where I'm going to make my own little sort of cooking pot. So using the planter, and then I use I think it's the ones that we got for the plant sims to have as logs on the open fire, and then I put some candles in as well and use some of that outdoor sort of, I think you add it on to make sort of modern features. That's what I've done recently in one of my builds, as like a arm that comes over so you can hang a pot on it. So I scaled up a milk jug and sort of had that floating above, so they're cooking on an open fire. That's why we've kind of got the chimney as well that goes out the roof, because I couldn't you can't make holes in the roof. And then putting it with loads of candles to represent the fire. I'm sure when I was picking out, because I wanted to add some steam in as well, I'm sure when I was picking the thing I picked the one with the steam, but it ended up being the one with the bubbles, so that's a bit annoying. But also adding in some of the stone wall decorations with the pictures on, sort of as their tribe kind of saw like animals or fruits that they rely on, and kind of carve them and pop them on the wall, so that it reminded them of things that they might hold dear to them. And then just covering it in a load of more traditional looking rugs, like they handmade them themselves, and tried to use a lot of the jungle stuff, obviously. And the landscaping was quite a big part of this build, which we do near the end, so it kind of ties everything in. So I was just trying to get a feel for it at the start here by placing in most of the jungle stuff, and then adding in all the jungle trees, so I know where to build all the main housing parts, and using the scale up and down tool to kind of get different heights and different layers in there. And then I used these awnings that we got as the bases for the houses, and I realized they were too high up, so I kind of had to change that around and just fix the doorway using that new archway, and then using the new awnings as the sort of pillars where they've built some little wooden houses on top of. So they're a bit more modern than the actual communal hut itself. So they've got a few more modern features in them. They are quite plain and quite basic as well. So they each have a sorry, I've just had a cup of tea, so clearly it's not sitting right. And so each house has its own bedroom area, a small kitchen, and a small little dining table and living room. And then we're using those new floorboards as well, because I thought they looked really rickety and old looking. And then one of the outsides that has the rustica looking wood, and then using all the sort of disheveled looking fridges and counters from the city living stuff as well, because they worked quite well, and using a lot of these sinks from the laundry day stuff as well, because that fitted in really well, kind of handmade sort of object. And the interiors are supposed to look like they've kind of found these objects through time. So they've got some more traditional looking stuff, and then other stuff is kind of a bit more modern. And then in 2 out of the 3 houses they have beds, which are basically the pile of cushions and some mats that are some rugs that I'm trying to use as some like little mats that they sleep on the floor, to kind of show that they don't really have any beds or anything, but sleeping on those is all that they kind of need. And then there are 3 houses in total. I think they're all slightly different sizes. So this one at the back is a bit smaller, and then I do one at the front that is a bit bigger as well. So today I got my rejection letter from the RA, which is sad, but oh well, there's always next year, and I'm working on a new bit of art that's taking me quite a while, I think, but it's looking quite cool. So I'm making it out of purely just black, like different scaled pencils, so I might enter it into another prize that's all to do with just doing pencil drawings. So I might try that out, and I need to get rid of some of the stuff that not get rid, but sell some of the stuff, because I am literally have no space to put any of the art that I've done over the last 2 years. So if anyone wants to buy anything, totally just message me. I have some cool space stuff, mainly black hole stuff, but yeah. And then each of the houses have a similar layout. I think this one's got some kids stuff in it. I completely forgot that we had those rustic stools as well, so I do put a lot of those about, especially around the communal areas. So they kind of pull up a stool and all sit around the campfire. And this one I actually put some normal beds in, so we got the toddler sort of blow up bed that I imagine it to be, and a rustic looking base game chest of drawers, and then the more rustic looking bed from city living as well. I probably shouldn't have put it in the white. I should have put a picture color, but I couldn't really find one that I wanted, and just using lanterns and stuff everywhere to light up this build, because I didn't want too much light. And you notice that most of the houses don't actually have any bathrooms to them, so this one has got there's a few of the bushes about, and this one's got a shower underneath, because I wanted to make a little makeshift shower, but it's kind of, they really don't really have a bathroom, as they kind of just go in the nature. I think this house does actually have a bathroom, so this is a bigger house for a few more Sims, and it's got a bigger balcony area as well, because I did want to make them all slightly different. And I did did enjoy making this build because it was completely different from doing a normal build, because you had to do all three different things, so that was quite fun. And I'm gonna go back to doing some more houses for next week. I've got one massive house, and then one house that's like the complete opposite. It's still quite big, but it's more small and more like the style is completely opposite as well. So there's the little bathroom, and just adding in the other kitchen as well, because I did repeat quite a few of the objects in this build as well, because I imagined that they kind of either had one person that made everything, or they kind of, that was the only type of thing they could find. And when I was doing the sort of landscaping around the place, I did add in some of the new stalls, the food stalls. So I kind of it always makes me jump. The flipping postman always puts posts through while I'm recording these, and he always makes me jump. It's so funny. But I put in some of the food vendor things to like represent either different houses or outhouses, depending on what you want to use it for. And I also put in some of the vendor tables as well, because I thought they were quite fun to put in and fit in with the aesthetic that I was trying to go with. And then this house has got 4 mats in it, so there'd be 4 Sims living here, and they've got using all the cats and dog stuff that has the sort of beaten up, sort of worn in furniture colorways, because they fitted in really nicely with the style, and using that really old couch and not matching chairs as well. So I thought that would be quite fun. And I think I put in a pet bed in this one, so if they did, because I'd imagine they'd have like stray cats or stray dogs kind of about, so if they wanted to befriend one of those, because there are stray animals in Salvadorado, so that'd be quite a fun thing to add in. Now we're going to make another chicken coop, because this is where I originally wanted to use this chicken coop, because I made one in my last build yesterday. That was the Japanese house. I added a little chicken coop in there, but I'd thought they kind of would domesticate some of the animals that they found about in the jungle. Obviously not the sloths or the other ones, capybaras, I think there is. And I found a crocodile the other day in my Let's Play that was kind of lurking in the water, so I don't think they'd be befriending those. But now we're adding in all the landscapes, so I went really not over the top, but tried to include a lot of the plants, and kind of had them all coming from where the trees were and underneath the houses as well, so they were kind of really set into the landscape, but also keeping a space by all the houses and stuff to where they would have cleared it out a bit, so then they could build their little town. And adding in a lot of the pots and the broken walls as well. I also add in a little graveyard just to honor any dead tribe members, and then added in a few of the totem poles and the pillars as well, just to make it look like there might have been a temple or something before they got here, or it kind of went into ruin and they kind of just decided that they would use that space as their little setup. Then adding in a few benches from city living as well to make some communal areas, and we've got a washing line, and I added in a well as well, because I thought that might be where they got their water from, or if they didn't want to walk down to the river or anything, then adding in the little vendor huts and some signs out the front as well, telling any of your Sims that aren't locals to stay away, and they don't want any visitors from the outside world. They want to keep themselves to themselves. And then a lot of mismatched furniture to go around the campfires so they can share stories and sing some traditional songs. And then I used a lot of the terrain paint to kind of blend in with the bit at the front of the lot, because it already had like some worn away sort of terrain paint, so I kind of tried to emulate that for the paths that they walk between the different houses and the different spaces as well. And some more bits that had like actual stone, because they'd worn it away so much that or they wanted to have that space protected a bit more. And then just adding in some lights for nighttime, just a few lamps dotted about just in case they wanted to be able to see during the night. It'd be quite cool if your Sims, if you turn this into a residential holiday lot and kind of stayed with the tribe. So these are the screenshots, so it gives you a few different angles of what it looks like when it's actually got the bonfires going and some Sims sitting by the fire waiting for either their meeting with the chief or anything. So I hope you enjoyed. If you did, give it a like, and if you'd like to see any more builds, then feel free to subscribe, and I will hopefully see you in the next one. Bye.